Yeah, so my name is Faithful. I'm a friend to Marstein. I call him Marstein. Maruf Ajimati. And I don't know where to start from because I've known Marstein for 13 years now. We went to the same secondary school. He was my seatmate. We're engineering students in this university together. And so we've known each other for a long time. And so the authenticity of this book is one of the things that surprises me the most, because I know where he wrote that book from. So I know that if you go through that book and you read it judiciously, it will speak to you, because every one of us has passed through a stage of life where we experience those things he wrote in the book. And I know that when you read the book, you'll be touched, you'll be inspired, and I know it's a worthwhile book. But for the author himself, is a responsible person. As I said, I've known him since we were kids. He's a responsible person. He's smart. He's industrious. He's a business guy, and he's doing really well for himself. And I'm pleased and privileged to be his friend. And thank you very much.
What's the expectation?
Greatness, and I know it will be great.
How did you hear about You're Meant to Be Here?
It was my friend that invited me here.
All right, that's great. You're welcome.
The next person I would like to welcome is Adeleke.
Good evening, everyone. You are welcome to You're Meant to Be Here. I want to talk about Marstein. I'm also a writer. I got to meet Marstein on a WhatsApp group of writers, and actually I know him to be an excellent person. Like, when he wants to do something, he's dedicated to it. He does it well, like not half-baked, not half-cooked, like very well. I think we've known each other for 5 years now, even more. And yeah, he's also a business person. We co-own a business. I actually won't be a partner to him in business if he is not who I know him to be, because he's always like giving his best. For this book also, he also has a book, and before this one, Thoughts on Paper, and that one too is actually very emotional and touching. So this one too is even more like, if you read this one, if you read that one, this is even more like you feel the emotions while you're reading the book, literally. So yeah, so that's 24 You're Meant to Be Here. So he actually gave his time, he gave his emotions, he gave everything within him to this project, and that's why we are gathered here today. And I really want to appreciate every one of you for your time to be here and coming from different places. Thank you so much, and I really hope you enjoyed this book launch.
Thank you so much. I'd like to be playing a game with all of you. I don't know how I'm going to do it. I'd like to play a game with all of you. So I'm going to be picking like 5 people to come here with me on stage. Please, can anyone come outside, please? 5 people.
I'm Yemi by name.
Yemi by name. Please put your hands together for him.
I'm Ola Oyemari.
Olaoye Abdul Malik. Please put your hands together for Olaoye.
Emmanuel Ruth Oluwatoyin.
Emmanuel Youth Oluwatoyin.
Hamzat Abdul Wahab.
Amsaz Abdul Wahab.
Temitope Alabi.
Temitope Alabi. Please put your hands together for them once again. Okay, the game will be. Don't be scared. It's actually fun. Don't be scared. So the game is going to be, if you can say these words fast without mixing it up. If you can say these words fast, as fast as you can without mixing it up, the winner is going to go on with your copy of book. Okay. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled pepper. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled pepper. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled pepper. If Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled pepper, what is the peck of pickled pepper Peter Piper picked? I don't know if you get that. Are we go? Can we get to go? Can you start from here? Okay. Okay.
What type of pickle pepper Peter Piper?
Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled pepper. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled pepper. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled pepper. If Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled pepper, what is the pick of pickled pepper Mr. Piper picked?
Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled pepper. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled pepper. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled pepper. If Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled pepper, what's the type of pickled pepper Peter Piper picked?
You tried.
Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled pepper. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled pepper. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled pepper. If Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled pepper, what type of pickled pepper did Peter Piper pick?
Please, a round of applause today for him. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Okay, please, a round of applause for them. Please. Thank you so much. Please, I would like you all to help me welcome Mr. Ajimati Maruf, aka Marstein, the author, the main reason why we are here, the one and only. There is no other person than aka Ajimati Marstein. Please put your hands together for him again.
Good evening, everybody. I would like to welcome you to my book launch. I'm really grateful for you showing up for me today. In all honesty, when I started writing this book, I had no idea I was going to do something like this to celebrate it. Like every writer, we are always stuck in our room trying to write something on a piece of paper, on a laptop, whatever it is, and then hoping that that word that we're writing on paper would at least resonate with other people, so it should just be for us only. And it all started many years ago because I started writing. It's been 14 then. It was 2019, and I was still a student in the University of Ibadan, and there was not really much about that book, but I wrote it out there at least. I'm an author. So after writing that book, I just said, yeah, I'm an author. So if you ask me where is your book, I can put something on the table. But this time around, I really wanted to go further. I just don't want to be an author, calling myself that. I want people to be able to recognize that. And that is why I decided to put this book in a place of celebration. So I don't really have much to say about that. So thank you very much for joining me.
Thank you. So, I believe the majority of us have a copy of the book right now. So, to just open up what the book is about, I'm going to read just from a page or two, but I'm just going to tell you briefly what the book is all about. So, in my journey of poetry, I do write several genres, novels, short stories, but poetry has always been my major characteristics as a person. Generally in Nigeria, poetry is not something that is really appreciated or understood, but nowadays we have what is called modern poetry, which is more inclusive. It's not like the times of Shakespeare, and it's always more about letting people connect to words, but being able to know that, okay, within these words you're saying, there's a deeper meaning there, there's a deeper understanding there, and it is always open to interpretation by each reader. That is to say, I myself as a writer, I would write it, and then you yourself as a reader can go through it and be like, oh, here is a point, and you can come to me about that point, and I'll be like, oh, I wrote this, but I didn't realize that it could also be interpreted in this way. I guess that's what art is all about. Images, paintings, and things like that. And when it comes to poetry. So the book 24 You're Meant to Be Here is a book of poetry and prose. It is meant to resonate with you as a person. It is meant for youth. It's about life.
It's about emotions. It's about relating with people. How to bring up your self-esteem. So the baseline is just about emotions. So I'm going to be reading just an excerpt from the book. So if you will all kindly turn to page 71 and follow me as I read page 71. And the title of the poem there is Choice. So I'll start with the reading now, and you can follow me. A pure truth of mankind is our ability to choose in a world out of our control. But this truth has been filtered and laid beneath the individual substance of heart and sentiment, creating what is called individual truth. Some call it gaslighting, some call it deflection. Ultimately, it leads to us not standing by our choice, but rather deflecting on others, saying, "But your actions made me do this. If you didn't do this, I wouldn't have." Choice is neither yes nor no, but a complex action interwoven with good and bad as one. You see, men have seen worse and have stood by their choices, and some have seen less and switched up instantly. I say, what makes a human good or bad to themselves is not the choice they made itself, but the admittance that it was solely from the substance of their hearts and not of another person they couldn't control. This is the pure truth of mankind. If otherwise, it is delulu. Choice. So just to before we go to the question and answers, after I finish what I'm doing here, you would read through the book for 5 minutes. Then you can pick a poem from which you want to ask a question. So I'll come over here, then you can ask a question about it. But to explain this particular poem I just read out to you, what it basically means is that sometimes maybe you go out and then something happens, and okay, you are a friend with someone, and you did something. Maybe you and your friend are fighting, and you decided to do something you normally wouldn't do. If you and your friend are on good terms, you normally wouldn't do that. But because you're fighting, you decide to do something that you normally wouldn't do. And out of that, maybe your friend found out, and then you guys were like arguing, and then at the end of the day, you don't talk anymore. And then if people ask you what caused this, then you'll be like, "Oh, it's because my friend did this." Okay, I asked him not to do this, and he did it. So because he did that, I'm also going to do like this. So life is not like that. If you decide to do what you want to do, it's not by what your friend did. It's because you want to do it. It's because you have the heart to take that step. So it's not because you and your friend are not on good terms. It is because whether or not you're on good terms, that is something you can do anytime. So you boil it up in your heart and you decide to do it. So that's what I'm saying by choice. And then if you ask that same person, why did you do this? You're like, my friend, he did this. Because he did this, that's why I'm doing it. No. We all need to stand by our choice, whether or not the person did you right and you took a step that you were not supposed to take. When it is time to admit what you did, yes, you took that choice solely based on your mind. The person cannot control you. So, okay, if what that person did warranted you to go and jump inside fire, would you jump inside the fire? No, you will not jump inside the fire. So you took the step because she can do it, irrespective of what they did. So that's what the poem means. And the Zululu you're saying is actually a new word from TikTok, of course. When they say somebody is delusional, that's what it means. So don't be delusional, stand by your choice. Before you make a choice, think about it very well. because there might come a time whereby you have to stand by it, so you won't be saying, oh, it's because of another person. So you can only say that, yeah, I did it because it's my choice. So that's what it's all about. Thank you.
Please put your hands together for him. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. So please, it's time for question and answer section. Okay, we're going to give you 5 minutes to read through the book, and from there you can just start picking your questions and writing it on a sheet of paper. I have a few questions for you, sir, from the audience.
Read the first part.
What's the essence of losing someone when you can't and never get over the impact of the person in your life, or in the name of self-discovery?
Okay, so that question seems like it is split into 2 parts. So I'll just answer the first part already. So let me take it from this stance. Self-discovery. For you to discover yourself, there are 2 ways. We discover ourselves as we grow up. From childbirth, we become self-aware. And along the line, most of the time when people are talking about self-discovery as an adult, it's most likely maybe the person was lost and trying to find a new meaning to their life, or trying to go back to the way they were before. And the reason that happens is because maybe they meet someone, might be a friend, might be a lover, and along the line, you people become very attached, that you do almost everything together. So when they mention you, they cannot mention you without the other person. Along the line, something happens, and maybe the person leaves. There's a fight, and you look at things and then you realize that I don't think I am someone without this person. So you feel lost. Obviously, you feel heartbroken. And the question ends with, so what is the essence of losing that someone, all in the name of self-discovery? The question is right there in the answer. You see, losing someone is not by your own power. One of the main aspects of the book is that if you open to the beginning, the preface, you would see letting things be is the best way to be. You don't have control. You are given choice. God gives us choice, yes. We are given choice, but there are so many things that is out of our control in this world. And apart from the fact that, okay, you're going to school, there's a bus there, and the bus leaves before you get there, or you get late, all these kind of things. And when it comes to people around you, especially when it comes to friendship, love, and things like that, if the person decides to leave, even if you are at fault, there is nothing you can do to make that person stay, no matter what you do. Because in the first instance, they choose to be with you. And you should always remember that before they were with you, you were a person. You are a person before they were with you. You were given birth to, you came to this world alone. And you fought for yourself right from day one to where you are. So if the person joined you on your journey, doesn't mean that they are going to be there at the end of the journey. So you should always prioritize one thing in your mind, whether you are with someone or not, in terms of love, or you're friends with someone or not. Always prioritize that you have to love yourself. Because if you don't love yourself, you cannot love another person. If you don't love yourself, you can't love another person. If you treat yourself bad, you treat another person bad. So if you don't know how to take care of your premises, you won't know how to take care of everything that is outside of your premises. So if you lose someone, know that, do your best. I will implore you to do your best to try and get hold of the situation. But if that doesn't work, don't start exerting yourself. Don't start overdoing things. Just let things be. It's going to be the hardest thing ever. But at the end of the day, trust me, you'll be fine. You'll be very, very fine. So, the person that left you, is
he or she left you because he felt like, oh, I need to discover myself also. So you also have to choose to discover yourself. And when it's time to walk with another person, with another maybe lover or friend, you know that, okay, when you are walking with that person, that's why it's always good to walk with people that have the same type of goals as you, so that you don't end up losing yourself in the process. If you lose yourself for another person's goal, that's when you start trying to rediscover yourself. But there are some relationships whereby even if you don't get to be with that person at the end of the day, you can look back and then be happy with what you've shared with the person, with the goals you've stepped on and achieved. So can you please read the last part of the question?
I get that not everybody is meant to stay. How do you help yourself from hurting when they left? Or is it that you won't get too attached? Not possibly, I guess, in bracket.
Well, the only thing you can do is to just let go. And like I said, it's going to be very, very hard. But that's what you can do. Let me put it this way. If you have somebody that you know and maybe the person dies, what do? I think you feel the pain, you breathe, but along the line, you have to go on. So I don't think there's no losing, there's no loss that goes beyond maybe somebody you care about dying. So, but I understand that you can feel the pain that, okay, this person is still here on earth with me, and maybe I see the person every day, or why can't we just reconcile? Some things are not just meant to be, and some things are meant to be, but you have to also understand that they choose to take that step to leave. You didn't tell them to leave, which means it is out of your control. The only thing you can control is your mind. So would you rather suffer through thinking about what you do not have, or about what you have and what you stand to gain in the future? So just go through the healing process, and people that are around you, make sure you speak with them the most, because they are going to be the ones to really, really help you see your value when you do not see it within yourself.
Firstly, wishing you a happy birthday, sir. Is today your birthday?
Thank you. Yeah.
Oh my God, I didn't get to do that. Happy birthday once again, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, my question is, what brings out the inspiration of writing this book, and what do you mean by 24?
Okay, the inspiration of writing this book. I started writing this book. My last book, like I said, was 2019, and that book was titled Thoughts on Paper. It was because I like saying something. As a writer, the ink is the way you bleed. And when you write things down, if you feel something, you write it down. You can write it down in a way to remember it, or write it down in a way to relieve yourself of what you're feeling at that time. So that when you go back to it, you can say that, oh, I once wrote this thing. Oh, I've grown so much. Oh, I was feeling like this one time, and now I'm different. So what inspired this book relates with that. After my first book, I struggled so much. People around me, the way I relate with them, and every day-to-day happening. So when things happen to me, I write them down as poetry. Sometimes I look at something that is happening to other people that are close to me, and it inspires me to write it down. And along the line, everything started gaining momentum, and I felt like, oh, there's a message what I've been writing for the past 1-2 years is trying to pass. So let me focus everything together and try to gain an end product, which is the book. So with 24 that is written there, I know the question was going to come, and I would like to say there's no particular reason why I decided to put the 24. I'll just leave it open-ended. One of the rumors I've been hearing from people is that, okay, did you put 24 there because we are in the year 2024? Because, okay, 2024 you're meant to be here. Maybe not. But I just like to leave that question open-ended, like the poems in the book.
What was the author's line of thought or writing, healing maze, in page 47? Can we all go to page 47? What was going through the author's mind?
Okay, should we read the poem before I answer the question, or should I?
Yeah, that would be fine.
Alright, so page 47, healing maze, so I'll go through it first. Sometimes I feel mad that healing isn't a straight path one can venture into. It is like that of a maze with dead ends or corners that leads close by to where it all started. When nearly healed wounds open up afresh, and the panic attacks which were felt a long time ago now resume the day with you. Sometimes I feel mad that I have to heal. In the first instance, why did I have to be a victim of hurt and love? Did I not know this was a possibility? Of course, the young adults wouldn't know. The only future I saw was of love, light, and endurance of life. But as life would have it, I am eating at the table of those who loved at the cost. So, the title says it all. And the poem itself delves into the meaning of what it is. So, healing means, what the poem is trying to say is that when people talk about healing, they think it's a straight line, they think it's a straight process. Sometimes maybe something hurts you and you are trying to heal, and maybe 3 months have passed and you're like, oh, I'm finally there. And something just happened out of the blue, and you find yourself from the beginning again, and you are like, oh, have I not been having any progress all this while? Yes, you've been having progress, but healing is like that of a maze. You go around, we all know what the maze is, M-A-Z-E. You go around the maze, and then sometimes you see the light and the end of tunnel, you get there, and then it's a dead end, and you have to turn back and try to find it again. Healing is always unique for everybody. There is no particular route you have to pass. So just know that if you hit a dead end and you feel like the road is afresh again, know that you've had progress. You just have to retrace your step and continue. That's what inspired the poem.
This question says, please explain page 34.
Dead End, that's the name of the poem. This book takes you on different journeys. Sometimes you read some that resonates with you in terms of anger, in terms of peace, in terms of joy, sadness, and things like that. So if you read the book from the beginning to the end, you realize that it follows a process that leads you from being broken to being whole, or being broken to a place whereby you can start your own journey. That is the book being a baseline for you to start your own unique journey. So what this dead end poem means is, you know that feeling you feel when someone does something really bad to you, and then you're like, nah, I am never ever speaking with this person again. We are not even going to cross paths. Even if we cross paths, I'm not going to speak with you. I'm very sure we've all gone through that, whether as a child, from the little plays we make and things like that, up until now. But then you realize over time that whether or not you're seeing that person every day, as you grow, your mind takes away the time that you have given that person in your mind, like the hatred. Time takes it away. Your mind focuses on other things in life. Then you realize at the end of the day that it's not worth it. Now, when you're reading this particular aspect of the poem, you won't realize that. What you will feel is that, whoa, okay, yeah, this poem resonates with me. Oh, this person, oh, I'm justified. I'm not going to speak with this person again. It's a dead end. But at the end of the day, you flip the pages and you read more, you grow more. You realize that, oh, the feeling I was actually feeling is a phase that would pass, and it's not something I have to carry on in my heart forever.
I noticed a theme of becoming yourself and loving without losing who you are. Can you talk a bit about love and individuality, and where your earth space was at in Destined Flame, page 17?
I always tell people one thing. I am not really the best person to answer when it comes to things relating to love, and love in particular. The book bases itself on many emotions, of which love is inclusive. And I think maybe it carries like maybe 60%, because you can't live in life as a person without loving people around you. And if individuality and loving someone, I'm trying to look at the way I could put it. In my own little experience, let me put it that way. In my own little experience, if you love someone, there's always this crisis of individuality and being with that person. But you see it nowadays. Oh, I love doing this, but since we are together now, I don't do that anymore. And that's why at the end of the day, maybe if they end up not together, you feel that feeling of, oh, you've lost yourself. Yeah, okay. So, let me put it this way. If we have two blocks, these two blocks, they have legs. They are individual blocks. They have legs. And they are both standing beside each other. And they are different shapes. One is a triangle, one is, let's say, a rectangle. And let's say that's how the world is like, a world of blocks of different rectangles, triangles, circles, and things like that. But this so happens to be rectangle and triangle. And these people, maybe they like each other, and you look at it, okay, how would a rectangle and a block, how would they fit with each other? Along the line, for them, they realize that for them to be able to like be together, they need to lose the rigid shape they have. They need to lose it. Maybe the block losing an angle on its side, a triangle, so that it could fit each other. If you look at a triangle and you see a block, maybe so this block loses this side, so it could fit with the triangle. Some would argue that, oh, they lost a bit of themselves to be together. They would argue that, oh, realize that we are human beings and we cannot 100% be attachable. There has to be a little part of us that has to go to be able to like come together. Now, the problem now comes from how much you have to lose to be with this person. Friendship is a very good way to start. Most of the friends we have nowadays, we are friends because we have a lot of things in common. But sometimes we fight because there are some things we don't like about each other. But at the end of the day, we've learned to realize that yes, this will always happen. We just have to learn to live around each other. So all in all, what I'm trying to say is that whoever you choose to be with, in my own little knowledge or experience, should be someone you feel you are open to change and learn together. I have my friend here with me, Faithful. We've been friends for 13 to 14 years now. And we are very alike, and there are other ways at which we are not alike. We've learned to be compatible with each other. One of the things I've noticed is that we grew together. We were open to change together. I am not the way I was 14 years ago. He is not the way he was 14 years ago. So along the line, we could have said, I'm not going to be with you, you've changed, or things like that. Though we change for the better, you know. So we always know that yes, we will change. And whatever changes it is going to be, we'll be fine with each other. So whatever you choose to be with, don't be with people because of now. It has to be a now and a future kind of stuff. And if you realize along the way that, okay, you can't lose your structure because of this person, then don't. But explain to the person, let the person know. So there's no really much of individuality when you are relating with people. You have to learn to mix some stuff. But at the end of the day, don't lose yourself in the process. When you find out that, okay, you are losing more of yourself, you need to take that step back. Destined flames. Okay, so let me just read the poem. Maybe we are meant to bond. That is why the sun has been warming us up over the years. Destined flames. Now, this structure of poem is in a question format, rhetorical. maybe we are meant to burn. That's why the sun has been warming up us over the years. Now, this is the meaning of this is that over the years, a lot of things have been happening. We have been going through it, and at the end of the day, it ended. The friendship ended, the relationship ended. So maybe we saw the signs and we exposed ourselves at the end of the day, not caring, and it all ended. But if you notice, it started with maybe we are meant to burn. So the hidden meaning behind this thing is that when you're feeling this kind of way, what your mind gives to you are these kind of things that tells you that, maybe it was always meant to be like this. Maybe we are meant to burn. But the sun doesn't actually burn us humans. Yeah, we feel the heat, we feel that pain, but it is much needed and it provides for us. The sun only burns us when we do not take care of ourselves, when we expose ourselves to the sun, when we expose ourselves to the circumstances around us, to society, to those little things that we are overlooking, that it burns us secretly. But if we know that we have to attack these things, talk about them, but the sun will always warm up us and not burn us. So we will not be destined flames at the end of the day. So that is what the poem means.
Okay, in pain can lay their hands on this book. It is greatness. Thank you so much. On page 53, you said, hold tight and let it go. How do we let our pains go away? On page 3, you said, hold tight and let it go. How do we let our pains go away? Yeah.
Okay. So this poem that the person asks is on page 53, which goes like this. Are we truly healing, or are we sweeping thoughts underneath the bed, so much that it overfills and pushes the foam from beneath us, exposing our hearts bare before the mind, fresh like it was yesterday's tragedy? Remember, hold tight and let it go. Remember, hold it tight and let it go. Now, what this means is that most of the time when people tell themselves that they are healing, what they are just doing is that they are deflecting. They are not thinking about it. The thought comes to their mind and then they just push it away. But the thought will keep coming. Whether you like it or not, it will keep coming if you don't face it within yourself. So what I'm saying is that know how in the world you will remember what has happened to you. So the first step is to remember. Now, it's either you now throw it somewhere, only for you to stumble and see it again another day, or you hold it really tight in your mind. That is, you ruminate on it, digest it, let it take you wherever it wants to take you to, then let it go. Because when you've held something tight for so long, you hold it very tight, you will get tired. And then your hand will tell you that you don't need to hold this thing again. You have to use your hand for another thing. So hold it very tight, ruminate about it, think about it, and you let it go. So whatever emotion you're feeling, remember it, hold it tight, and let it go. That is what the poem is about.
Okay. For no peaceful soul drags the mantle of battle with the past. That's on page 63. Should we discard all past feelings or learn from their experiences, then move on?
Okay. So let me read the poem. What matters now is not what brought you to your current state of agony, anger, and mistrust. The significance of purpose starts from choosing to make the most of the present. For no peaceful soul drags the mantle of battle with the past in order to claim victory over the flood of its member. Let go of the burdens of past grievances. Now, if you look at that poem, that is, if you have the book with you, you will see a canoe and a ring. That ring is in form of a teardrop. What I'm trying to say there, based on that image alone, is that you are on a path in a river, and then there are raindrops, and you are on a journey. The journey you are going on, there is always going to be rain. It's either you pack that rain as it is falling into the canoe into the river, or you drag it along with you in that canoe and you drown. So that's why you have to let go of past grievances. That water dropping into the canoe is the past grievances. So what I'm trying to say is that what matters now, whatever happened, whatever brought you to that state that you are in, what matters is that you are in that state. It is not what brought you to that state. Oh, this is what happened. This is what happened. That's already in the past. Nothing can change it. You are where you are already. So it is now your choice to move on. That's why I said, for no peaceful soul drags the mantle of battle with the past. You can't be peaceful if you're always looking at your back and always thinking about what happened in the past. So you have to let that go in order for you to move forward. Because there's no true victory if you drag on with the past and then you get flooded with it. There's no true victory there. The victory is you moving on and letting go of past grievances. Now, the way to do this is not an easy process, yes, but trust me, you will always be fine at the end of the day. I can't tell you how long it will take. It might be days, it might be months, it might be years, but you'll be fine. You just have to choose to do your part in terms of you helping yourself out.
We have here. I like the author's use of words, especially for an engineering student. It's nice. I feel this person should be an engineering student. Okay, the word battlefield on page 20. Can the author shed more light on this? On page 20.
Who asked this question? This is the number one poem. Thank you for asking. This is my favorite poem. It is my highlight of 2023, like personally my best poem. So I'm going to read it now. So the title is Battlefield. The ground opened up and swallowed me whole. I am the ground. The clouds gave a blanket, one shielding me, stunting growth. I am the cloud. I am the judge, jury, and executioner. Still, I am the prisoner. Constantly in battle, I am the mind. The mind is me. I'd like to throw a question to the house. Is there some time whereby you are maybe daily and then something comes to your mind, like that inner thought that asks you, maybe you're standing on this edge and then something tells you jump? Have you ever had that kind of? It's not you. It's just a suggestion in your mind. Jump. I'm just using this as an example. There's always that subtle stuff in your mind that tells you something. You feel like, oh, I am in control of my mind now. But sometimes you forget something and you can't remember. Then your mind tells you, then your mind brings it up. So, are you in control of your mind? Or your mind is in control of you? The constant battle. So, you are actually in control of your mind. But as we go through life, there are so many things that happen, so many suggestions that our mind brings up. It conjures those things. That is why in the opening line, which says, the ground opened up and swallowed me whole. I am the ground. That ground that opened up is the mind. Your mind is telling you to do something that you would normally not want to do. And then you jumped into the ground. It opened up the ground and you jumped into it. Would you blame your mind? No. You jumped into it because you allowed what your mind is conjuring to take control of you. When you are actually in control of your mind, you could say, no, this is the kind of person I am. I'm not going to give in into the circumstances around me. The cloud gave a blanket, one shielding me, stunting growth. I am the cloud. What this part means is that there are so many steps you want to take in life that you sabotage yourself. Okay, you want to go for an interview, you got scared, you didn't go there. That cloud gave you a blanket. That blanket is that comfortable stuff you set around yourself, which is not allowing you to grow. The cloud gave a blanket, stunting growth. I am the cloud. You are the one stunting yourself, not allowing yourself to grow. I am the judge, jury, and executioner. Still, I am the prisoner. You are the one putting yourself to the court process. You are the one enslaving yourself. You are the jailer and you are the prisoner. Which means that you can either choose to control your mind or let it just do away with you anyhow it wants. Constantly in battle, I am the mind. The mind is me. Inseparable. But you have to maintain that yes, you are the owner of your mind. Whatever suggestions, whether subtle or not, that it brings to your mind or based on circumstance, you have to stand and remember the core part of your being. This is who I am. The circumstances around me will not turn me into a prisoner of my own mind. So that's what it's all about battlefield. Thank you.
And congratulations on your book launch.
Thank you.
Yes. All right. I feel like people have been asking questions in relation to the book, but I want to ask questions in relation to the man of the book. So my first question is, what's the biggest inspiration behind all of this? You mentioned life generally. Are you trying to say life generally is the biggest inspiration behind all of this? Not everyone who writes a book will choose to probably bring organize a kind of setting like this, because this setting is wow. Please, let's appreciate him.
Thank you.
Yeah. Did you grab my first question, sir?
Yes, I did.
Thank you.
So, like the title says, 24 you're meant to be here. What it's basically saying is that whatever happens to you in life, whatever it is, educationally, family related, friendship and things like that, whatever happens, you are meant to be where you are. You are not living somebody else's life. You are meant to be where you are. So by knowing where you're meant to be, like which is that present state, don't linger on the past. So from where you are, define how you want to take the next step. So basically what it means is that it is about life. The inspiration behind the book is life. Like I said, as I go through the daily activities of life, the way I write as a writer, I write based on inspiration. I never sit down and say that, okay, I want to write a book. Let me start thinking about what I want to write. Or maybe I just sit down, okay, for this day, I want to write. No, it comes based on inspiration. I don't think about it. So I might just go out and something happens. Sometimes something might not even happen. It might just be a thought from some other days and the inspiration just comes and I write it down. I think about it and then I develop it. So it's just about life itself, whatever part of life it is. So that's it.
Questions.
Yes, go on.
The second one is there any connection at all between the evident theme of love in this book and then your personal story?
Okay, can you say the question again?
Okay, is there any connection at all between the evident theme of love in this book and your personal story?
Everything in the book is a part of me as a person. I don't think any writer would write something that is alien to themselves, because if it's alien to themselves, there is no way it's going to resonate with another person. So in addition to that, most of what is in the book is self-inspired by activities based on me as a person and close people around me, because I live around them, so I'm able to see things through their lenses and things that are around me too.
Hey, have you ever been in a tight situation when you had to take a real decision as a result of your choice, and starting by your decision was so threatening? If yes, I believe everyone wants to learn and hear it.
Lovely. Yes, I have been in that situation countless of times actually, and there was a major one in 2023, of which
I stood by my choice. But at the end of the day, I stood by my choice. And what I realized was that while I did so, that was not the same for the other personnel, the people that were involved. And it really affected me a lot because I felt, what point have we gone to as human beings by not being able to stand by our choice? The reason why I stood by my choice then was not because I was trying to be like right, because I felt it was the right thing to do for myself. Because if I don't stand by my choice, I will be split and I will never really move on from that situation. I will be held back. I'll be tricking myself. Like I said, that particular poem we read that time, choice, I'll be delusional. I would feel, okay, yeah, I'm right. Like whatever I did, I'm right. So, but it wasn't about like right or wrong. It was just about me standing by my choice. Whether what I did, yes, I stood by my choice. If apology needs to come after it, fine. If it doesn't need to come after it, fine. But that was when I learned that people tend to rather deflect than not admit. And when you deflect, it doesn't help you. It doesn't help the people involved. It's just, let me take it to the basics. When it comes to lies, the best way possible is to always tell the truth. While in our day-to-day activity, we see that, okay, lying is always better, because you would know how to face the truth and things like that. But you realize that when you lie, you need to add up more lies to sustain it. At the end of the day, you even forget the earlier lies you told, and then everything gets lost in translation. So sometimes whereby maybe they ask you something, and you've even forgotten about the lie, then you try another lie, but they've recorded your first, so why are you changing? But when you stand by the truth, when you say the truth is always there. You don't need to add up anything. So whatever the consequences, you've done it. Just stand by your choice. So that is what I learned. That was last year, 2023, towards the end of the year. So that was the inspiration behind it.
Thank you so much. Can you please put your hands together for yourself? Those are amazing questions. So one question from me. I actually have a friend who was actually in love before. So this person, our boyfriend, okay, let me just put our ex-boyfriend, they were actually dating before. That was using the word ex-boyfriend, got to like, but the person had to relocate to us. Charity said, okay, I'm done with this guy. I don't want to be with this guy anymore. But seeing the person every day, she tries to, no, I don't want to be with this guy. Seeing the person every day, the feelings still keep getting closer. They're broken up, but she does not know what to do at that point. She does not even have a say. Should I still continue? No, I've broken up this guy, but seeing each other, she still get attached to the guy. So what can she do? What can the person do?
So thank you. I would like to answer this question based on another book I read, not my book particularly. In 2023, during my research, in finalizing this book, I got to read a lot of different books that really are in tune about the behaviors of human beings. Now, I cannot totally answer that question in the right way because I would not know, the full story. I don't have the full story about like what has really happened between them and things like that. I just have the brief aspect of it. But what I can say is that, when you are not with someone again, maybe love, friendship and things like that, and you realize that, okay, you're seeing this person and this is not helping me out. What people just do is to try and stay away now. But at the end of the day, you say the person moves to the street and she's contemplating. Now, what I would advise for her to do in that instance is to think about things very well. Whatever brought the situation to where it was should always be a reference point. If truly she wants to go ahead, I think she should speak with the person, because all what she's thinking about is just in her mind. It's just in her mind. She should speak with the person, and if truly she knows what she wants. Now, knowing what you want doesn't mean that you want one particular thing. Knowing what you want can be, oh, I want clarity. Now, if she speaks to the person, she's able to know that, okay, yeah, this is a possibility, this is not a possibility, based on how the conversation goes. But if she just stands back and just keeps it in her mind, and she's going through that emotional torment every day, and who knows, maybe the guy is just like, it doesn't even bother anymore, it's just there and it doesn't bother anymore. So that's what I'm saying. That was what I was saying at that time, that you either choose to be a slave to your mind, or you seek clarity by, she's on the right process of thinking about things in her mind, but the next stage is for her to really discuss with the person, and she knows what has happened before in the past. Is it really worth it? And if at the end of the day it comes out to be that, okay, going for the person is not the way, she should do her possible best in trying to avoid any form of interaction that would make her not to like move forward. Now, this advice I just gave is not a foolproof advice. I am not truly, how would I put it, experienced to give that kind of advice, but in my own little knowledge and based on things I've read and things I've heard people say, I think that is my advice for her.
Thank you so much. Please, a round of applause for Mr. Maruf Ajimati. Thank you so much. So I think this should be the end of questions and answer section. Come over here to sign your book, because we're about launching the book right now.
Say 24.